How's it digging, my shovels? This is Spade here, and today I got a rarely used tier match against Cake for You. And still using the same team that you may remember from a few battles ago. And looking at the team preview, the most things that I'm really worried about are the Galate and the Gorbis, because those things could potentially set up like Sauce Dances and Shell Smashers respectively, and destroy a lot of my team members. So that's something I need to be worried about, but other than that I should be fine. I have checks for the rest of his things pretty much, and yeah, for this match I decided just to lead with Quillfish because his entire team is grounded. So if I get some toxic spikes and spikes over there, that's gonna be really nice when you're looking at this match in the long run. So just gonna go for some toxic spikes, and he's gonna go for Stealth Rocks, follow with EQ, and unfortunately he does score a critical hit. I'm pretty sure Quillfish could have taken it with max HP, max defense, and Intimidate. So that's a bit unfortunate, because I could have gone either for the Waterfall to do a bunch of damage to him, or then just try and set up more hazards. So now I cannot just lose that opportunity. But oh well, we move on. And I do have the Intimidate, so I'm just gonna go into Druddigon to get my own Stealth Rocks, because he doesn't have a spinner either. So getting up those hazards is just really nice in the long run. And yeah, still the EQ does do quite a bit, so I decided I'm just gonna go into Sigilyph since he keeps on EQing. And just decided to play it safe and go for the Psycho Shift, and this is kind of the problem with this team. You know, I got those Toxic Spikes and it doesn't really go well with Psycho Shift, but honestly I wasn't really sure whether he would want to switch out, because he just kept staying in against Quillfish when I had the opportunity to Waterfall him, so I was like, maybe he's just not going to switch out. There are people who don't do that, so I was like, maybe he doesn't want to switch out, but now he does. Goes into the Gorbis, sets up a Shell Smash, and now I am in a world of trouble, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, so I just kind of went into Druddigon to scout what kind of Gorbis this is, and it actually turns out it's a Life Orb with Ice Beam, obviously, because you can use Smash and Pass, so obviously it's going to be more just offensive based, like 3 attacks and stuff. But this is really bad, because I really can't do anything to this thing, and I don't really have anything to outspeed it, except, you know, Kabutops with priority Aqua Jet, and I just kind of have to stack Kabutops just in order to bring him down to a point where the Life Orb and the Toxic are going to wear him down. So yeah, finally I do take him out, but unfortunately lose 2 valuable members of my team. And now I decided just to go into Sigilyph, and I was just really hoping that he would send out something that wouldn't pair up well with Sigilyph, because otherwise I'm really screwed. Because he just destroyed half of my team with the Rhydon and the Gorbis. But luckily he does send out something favorable for Sigilyph with his Tangrowth. But it actually does turn out that he is running a Choice Specs Tangrowth, as he's able to do so much damage with the Hidden Power Ice, or it's most likely Rock, because that's kind of a thing in the RU tier. So yeah, HP Rock does like over half, even after the Cosmic Power that I got up. And yeah, luckily though I can still just roost off, I'm faster, so yeah, I can just keep roosting off and setting up some Cosmic Powers, and he realizes that there isn't really much that he can do to me as the Toxic keeps on racking up, so he's gonna switch out and just go into his Chinchino, which obviously has the Rock Blast, but since I do have a couple of Cosmic Powers, unless he gets a bunch of crits, I should be fine. One crit definitely could have been crucial right here, because I'm only left with 70 HP, but luckily he doesn't get it with the first set of hits, and I'm able to roost off to a nice green chunk of health. And he actually doesn't feel like staying in with the Chinchino. I'm not really sure why, because if I had been in that situation, I probably would have just gone crit fishing and just gone for Rock Blast again, but he doesn't want to do that, I guess, with the Toxic racking up and just seeing how little he was able to do to me, and not wanting to rely on a crit. I'm not really sure, but yeah, he does switch out. Goes back into Tangrowth, and I can definitely keep on setting up on this thing. Now he just kind of randomly goes for the Leaf Storm. It's not like he could have done anything with the hidden power eyes anyways, but I'm not really sure what he was really planning. But after he switched out with the Chinchino, this puts Sigilyph in a really good situation, and now as he switches out again, I think Sigilyph is now at a +4 as he goes into his Entei, and it actually turns out that this thing is a sub-calm mindset. As he goes for the calm mind, he has leftovers, and definitely now judging by the HP, that's the calm mind, sub-calm mindset, and he has timid nature too to outspeed me, so there is that. But I'm gonna release my stored power and actually get a crit, which I'm not really sure how much that matters. Sure, he could have gotten one hit off, but I had +4, so Lava Plume or the Flamethrower, it really wouldn't have done that much. So yeah, and he doesn't have reliable recovery as I do, so don't really think that mattered really too much. And that was just payback for the Quillfish anyways. So yeah, in comes Chinchino. I really like that nickname, by the way, Cappuccino. Nice and simple, yet funny. Anyways, knock him out with the stored power. Obviously at +4, he can't do anything to me. And in comes Gallade. Turns out that he's running Lumberry, so I'm like, hey, let's burn this thing. And now I can actually do something with the Psycho Shift, even though the Toxic Spikes kinda screwed me over early game, and that's why it's not a good combination. But it works out in this situation, as I burn the Gallade. Shadow Sneak at +4 defense doesn't really do much, and I'm just gonna roost off my health, and he can't do anything because he's burned. And then I'm just gonna release my stored power again, because I just got back to a respectable amount of health, and I should be fine. And he should be in a range where I can definitely knock him out, even though Gallade has respectable special balls. So having that extra damage was definitely nice. But now in comes the Rhydon. And I'm just gonna go for stored power again. With the Violet, he's of course going to be able to live that hit. But he's just gonna go for the Mega Horn. Doesn't really do too much, and I'm not really sure what. I guess he had Rock Blast, and he just didn't want to just end up getting like a couple hits. I don't really know. Then again, Rock Blast wouldn't have taken me out anyway, so it's not like it matters at this point. And now his last Pokemon is the Tangrowth, and yeah, it doesn't really have a special defense to begin with either, and it doesn't have like Eviolite or anything, so just gonna knock it out, and that will be the game. And yeah, that will be the match for today. Thank you for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and gotta say, Sigilyph is a wonderful and just such a unique Pokemon, because it has access to Cosmic Power and Stored Power and Psycho Shift, and also going with Roost, making it a really unique, bulky, offensive Pokemon, a role that really no other Pokemon can perform the same way that Sigilyph can. And that is just what makes it really unique and special, and actually a really good Pokemon once you just set up a few Cosmic Powers and then just go from there. But anyways, today I was thinking for the question of the day and kind of the topic of the day, I would kind of like to open the Pandora's box known as Nintendo versus Let's Players. And spoilers, I'm actually redoing this outro because I started rambling about it, and then I already went to like 20 minutes and without actually not really much than just scratching the topic, because it is quite the large topic that could kind of deserve its own video, but I'm not really sure if I should do one, because there are a bunch of other people who have kind of already talked about it, but I would still kind of like to talk about it a bit, because people have been asking my opinions here on YouTube and on Facebook, so I would kind of at least like to touch bases on it, because it does definitely affect me as well. Or it could, I don't know, at least at this point, how Nintendo is going to be going with this. But if you don't know, Nintendo is basically, in a nutshell, going to be, they have become a YouTube partner, and now they have the ability to place content ID claims on every Nintendo related content here on YouTube that has certain length of their audio or video, and they can basically put ads on them and claim those videos for themselves to make money. And the only real problem that I have with this is with their statement, because obviously they just want to have money out of this situation. But of course you cannot say in public that you just want money, because you have to lie. And their reason for this, as they say in their statement, is that they have become a YouTube partner, and they just want to ensure that their Nintendo content is shared the appropriate and safe way. So it's about sharing, except it's not about sharing, because they're just gonna be putting ads. Sure, they have now easier access to block something, like if their content, for example, gets leaked out, they have easier access to shut down those kind of channels and stuff. But unlike other channels, they're just going to be putting ads on everything, because they realize there's a bunch of scattered money in the interwebs of YouTube, and now they have a way to make this money just flow to their own pocket instead of to random people. And this is something that many Let's Players have been fearing for years, because gaming content in general in YouTube is still kind of there in the gray zone, because sharing music is definitely a no-no, and sharing movies is a no-no, but then there's gaming content, which is kind of hanging there in the limbo stage, whether you can post it under the fair use or not. But certainly Nintendo has the rights for their own content, so they can put the ID claims. But the problem that I have is the way they're going with this, with their statement, with the safe and appropriate way of sharing, when it has nothing to do with sharing, and when they're just going to the money hole and just trying to get the money from all these random YouTube videos. Because, I don't know, maybe Wii U is just doing so badly that they desperately need the money, and they're like, hey, let's go to YouTube, there's some potential money over there. And yeah, I don't really know, but it's just the way they're going with this. And then they're trying to look like the good guy, and they say that they're not going to be blocking people for sharing this content. And that's the funny thing, they want to protect from people that they are not sharing their content, but they're not blocking the people or blocking the videos either, which is sharing the content. They're just going to be getting the money, which has nothing to do with the sharing of the content. If it was about sharing the content, they would be blocking people, but that's quite the opposite that they're actually doing. They're not blocking anything at all, unless, like I said, you know, if a game gets leaked, they certainly have easier access to blocking these kind of videos, but that's kind of a different topic. And the main thing they are just doing, as opposed to the sharing, is just getting the money for themselves instead of to random people. And then trying to look at things from another perspective. Yes, Nintendo certainly has the rights for their own content, so they can just claim it. But my only problem again is just the way they do it. It just makes them look like a giant douchebag. But at least they are saying that they are not shutting down channels. And so the only real problem kind of seems to be with like YouTube partners who are getting money out of posting Nintendo content, and those more specifically who are making a living out of this and who are only posting Nintendo content. And then that means that Nintendo is going to take their job. Nintendo. Indeed, they will take their jobs, kinda. And this seems to be a problem for a lot of people. But then again, like, many people kind of just started this thing as a hobby. Then they just eventually became YouTube partners because the fair use still allowed it. But then I don't understand what's the huge fuzz about these YouTube partners. I don't really care if I don't get any money out of Wi-Fi bells that I post. You know, that's not really an issue, because I'm not really going to rely on this YouTube thing to be my whole life, so that I'm going to be eventually making a living out of this. At least not at this point. And that's kind of the interesting thing that people are talking about YouTube partners losing their jobs, when it's kind of just within the past couple of years, it has kind of become a thing that some people are actually making a living with this. So because this whole YouTube gaming thing is so new, should you really rely on it for the rest of your life in the first place, so that you're just going to give up on your studies, give up on your former job, just so that you can play video games for the rest of your life? Should you do that just because this YouTube thing seems to be working for you right now? Because it is still in the gray zone. There's the fair use that allows it, but right now Nintendo is jumping on the gun, and you don't really know other companies going to follow. So that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't really consider YouTube, at least gaming YouTube, being a real job at this point, because Total Biscuit he made a really good video talking about this topic, and he was talking how the technology is ahead of the law. So when the law isn't really certain and things are kind of in the gray zone, should you really rely on this YouTube gaming stuff at this current point of time and consider it to be a real job, and then just stop doing everything that you're doing just because you can make money out of gaming and it works for you right now? But certainly there are a bunch of people who just do this as a hobby. They get some extra money out of this, and they either study or work at some other place. But just, you know, making a point that if YouTube partners are not going to be making that much money, it really isn't a big deal. And honestly, like, I don't care if I don't get some money out of these Wi-Fi bells that I post. I would still post them, although I don't really know what's gonna happen if I... Like, the thing is, Pokemon X and Y are coming out, and is there really a point to be, for at least me, to start posting those if I'm just gonna get content ID claims? I would still like to keep my channel at a good reputation. That's kind of the main thing that I guess people are talking towards as well. But then again, it's not gonna be shutting down your channel, so that's not really that big of an issue. And now I think that will do out of me for today. And this is a huge topic, and I could have dived into more detail and just talked a bunch more, but I just kind of want to keep this somewhat compact for this ending rambling of a Wi-Fi bells. So I'm just gonna end things here, and thank you for watching, and thank you if you listened through my ramblings, and definitely leave a comment below what you think of this if you do have an opinion about it. But that will do out of me, and thank you for watching again, and until next time, this is TheFlamingSpade signing out. Peace.